Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're going to talk about our 10. Well, I haven't seen Pepper's list. Maybe he put more than 10 on there. He told me he had 20 on his working list, which I think I had too, but we narrowed it down to 10 games apiece, most anticipated coming out at Gen Con or maybe demoed at Gen Con. I guess I don't know what exactly my
Yeah.
list was, if it was actually going to be available there for the first time or what, but we used the listing on Board Game Geek,
Yeah.
kind of the preview, Gen Con preview, so that's where we got these games
Yeah.
from.
So
Uh,
blame them if some of these games aren't there or if they're already released. Any
exactly.
complaints, send it their way.
Exactly. I did not filter mine down to like exclude things specifically. So I don't know. I don't know if you did that at all. So
But yeah, so we have a 10 apiece here. I did have one that was going to be on my list, but it was the only one we were crossing over on. So I'm like, I'll just go find another one to give us 20 unique games. So you'll have to look and guess which one you think that was of your list.
I'm surprised there's only one crossover.
Yeah,
I
there
thought
were
I
a
had
few other that were close, but
okay. I thought I had a few that might be up your alley because I know sometimes we don't have quite the same taste. Sometimes I go a little heavier, but I feel like maybe my list didn't have
yeah.
all that many of that this
They were in
time.
the 11 through 20 of my short list, I
Sure, sure.
guarantee it. But my number 10, they're not really in any order, but people like top 10 lists. So my number 10, that could be my number one, who knows? But it is, let's just get into it, Ice and Idols. This one has a cool theme, or at least shallow theme that I at least got from it, where you're going to this kind of ice temple type area and you're trying to get artifacts to upgrade your actions as well as score different points. And a cool thing here is that the board, as you can see, it's kind of a 3D board and it has those acrylic pieces in there. I think you can pick those up and rotate them. They have different paths on them, kind of making me think of Railroad Ink, just with the little roads in there, and you get to rotate them on this board and kind of open up new areas for yourself to get to different spaces, as well as possibly rotate the entire board along with your meeple. So you might just end up on the opposite side of the board, and maybe that's exactly what you want. So it's an amazing move, or maybe it really screws up your plans. This one gives me a little feeling of I was excited about Ice, the game Ice, when that came out a couple years ago, but it seemed like it was maybe a little heavier, a little too crunchy. For me, I'd probably still like it, but this one seems right up my alley with goofy, silly, lighthearted, but still enough to chew on.
This was on my initial list when I was narrowing it down. So yeah, this one caught my eye as well. I think there was just some of that maybe you like just maybe a tad bit more than I do sometimes, where you sometimes had to be. It sounded like you had to be a little sneaky with the
Yeah,
kind of swapping of things, and that was where I was like, yeah, probably won't quite make my top 10 then.
yeah,
Just because some of those I do really love, some work really well for me and don't feel like, oh, this is a really brain burner. Maybe that's what this will be. It is from Inside Up Games, which was another reason why it was initially on my list, because I believe they made Earth and Perch, which are both
yeah,
games that I like quite a bit. So
yeah.
maybe they will continue that, hopefully.
Yes. And you do not know the order. You said there's
I do
no
not
real
know the order of
order
mine. I said
here.
any random order, Pepper. So, so we'll see what order you have them in.
We just put them in there. I'll say I'll give you a little hint. I think that yours would be better placed at 12th place. Does that give you any hint as to what it could be?
Could it be talking about a water source of water,
Yes, it
moving
may
water?
be. It is 12 Rivers.
12 Rivers. Ooh, this one, ooh, with this kind of thing, this could be the one you were talking about that was maybe a crossover, but maybe you didn't see these little pictures till afterwards and maybe got a little more interested. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into them a ton, but yeah, this one it just caught my attention with these kind of marbles going down these rivers, and then you've got kind of these wooden pieces placed in certain areas. I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work. I'm not sure if it's just going to be kind of gimmicky, but there was something about it that just looked had a really cool look to it. I really love the artwork and colors that I saw here, and the idea of rolling marbles. I'm waiting for some sort of game like that to kind of be light, but still have, I don't, I guess I'd call it maybe a Reiner Knizia touch, where it's kind of like one of those simple games that still has some, depth of once you've played it a lot, you kind of can see some additional strategies. So I'm hoping that this will have something like that. Uh, but yeah, I really love the look of the production. Kind of just like the last one we were just looking at yours as well. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah,
there's something about this one that just caught my attention. I was like, I would definitely go at least give this one a look if I was at going to Gen Con this year.
yeah. Yeah, this one almost made my list. It was a short list, for sure, but I was just not sure, like, will there really be that much excitement with it, or does it kind of play itself, or you just kind of know how things are going to turn out? Because I think it based on what marbles hit your markers, you get certain things, and I'm like, that could either be fantastic or get pretty boring pretty quickly. That's my worry.
Yeah, that was my one concern. So it is good that it's at 10 because, yeah, I wasn't sure because it looked like, obviously the paths in a way are fixed outside of possibly putting those markers in those places. So you kind of know what the potential is, and I would wonder if there would be a loss of excitement potentially,
Mm.
depending on how exactly it plays.
Yeah. Or maybe it just gets like super heavy strategy in a meta, something like chess or something like that.
Right.
It could. My number nine is a game with a theme that you have been asking for ages. And that is another game with the number 12 in the title, and
Ooh, 12
that
labors.
is Hercules and the 12 Labors. I just love the look of this game. It makes me think of Unmatched. What is it? Beowulf kind of has a similar blue and gold, orangish type of look, and I love the artwork here. The gold foil on the cards, awesome dice. So looks wise, it's got me hooked. But it's also kind of a dice placement solo game, and kind of going through these 12 labors makes me think of it's going to be like 12 little mini games, and that's just checking all the right boxes, all the dice shaped boxes for me. I really hope this is something special that I can add to my kind of go-to solo games.
Yeah, I think this one, there's going to be one that I have on my list at some point. I'm not sure where it will be, but there was like this crowdfunding thing where like a bunch of these small games were all going at the same time. And like if you got like two that were like partnered or whatever, you got like promos and stuff. And I think this was in there. Um, and I was very interested in it because, yeah, the look of it was amazing and the theme that I was really interested in. I feel like I watched like some gameplay though, and I was a little hesitant. It made me a little worried. It made me think of One Deck Dungeon a little bit, which
Oh, yeah.
uh, the part that I don't like is kind of like there's only so much mitigation you can do kind of thing, and that's
Yeah.
where I was a little worried.
Yeah.
Where it might not have the mitigation that I'd like, but it is a soul. It looked like it's a solo game, and uh, seemed like it was relatively quick, so maybe that won't matter as much. But
Yeah. Yeah.
probably just be sorry, I don't want to get you disappointed, but I
Mm.
was I was just a little disappointed because of all that good stuff, and then I was just worried like I don't know how this will actually feel and
Yeah.
actually playing it. So,
But I mean,
but hopefully it'll still be good.
I think I'm a little more forgiving towards that kind of stuff and replayability than you are. I could just chuck dice against each other, just a bunch of dice. So,
It's true.
um, doesn't take much. But your next one was one that I forgot existed, or I must have seen the name and not realized that it was that mechanical transparent card game.
Oh wow, we went right into the one I was talking about. I just mentioned. They were
My
both
goodness,
in
is
that.
that the one?
They were.
I
I
had no
believe they
clue.
were both in that. They were both in that same thing. So they must all be kind of delivering about now. It must
Yeah.
be. And yeah, this one I was. This was the. So these were probably the two that I was most interested in out of like I don't know how many, 20 maybe or something. Maybe there's more than that. I don't remember. But these are probably the two that I was most interested in. And after kind of watching some gameplay, this was the one that I was still more interested in than maybe the 12 labors. So Yeah, there's just this transparent kind of building this golem kind of thing, elemental, and trying to meet certain criteria. I just love that kind of thing in games, and it's actually you can see all the pieces out on the table there. You get to kind of put your finger out and touch a piece, and you must take that piece. So you can't just pick whatever you want. So then you're working on a few of them at a time. And you gotta kind of be like, well, I guess this arm is going on this one just because I don't want to mess up this other one. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just seemed like another quicker game, approachable game that I was thinking I was a little more interested in after watching than the 12 Labors. So yeah, I
Okay.
saw this one was there. I was like, wow, I didn't know this was already coming out. So hopefully it'll be available outside of Gen Con as
Yeah.
well. Because I'd like to get a copy of this one.
Yeah. If I had remembered, I must have just looked at the cover and judged it. If I had remembered, because I remember seeing this golem, this picture, and being very interested whenever we must have looked at it. If I had remembered what this was, that would have made my list for sure. Good
Okay,
pick.
so this was the one that would have made your list.
Nope. I forgot about it, so wasn't making my list, but it would have if I had remembered. Uh,
Okay.
but we go on, but still great list by you. Great list.
Oh, I know it. I looked at my list just now a second. I know which one will be on there. I am worried. There is one last game that I'm like, this has got to be on Pepper's list, and I'm gonna see if it's on there.
Okay, okay,
I saw it and I was like, I immediately thought Pepper,
okay. Now I'm worried I'm gonna
but it was
disappoint.
down towards the bottom of the list, so I'm like, I don't know if he got there, so I just wanted to write it down just in case, so I could tell you.
I think I went through all the games, so I'm going
Okay.
to either I might disappoint you. The next up is a game in a series. We got a couple back to back, a game in a series of games. A series of games that can be played in 20 minutes. And that is the next in Paulo Mori's type of series. The picture of the gameplay is from Blitzkrieg. This one is Flintlock, the
I
Seven
was gonna
Years
say,
War.
wow, that looks similar.
My goodness, same technology and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of looking between games that maybe were new and then something that's established. I want to go with the new ones, but I really love Blitzkrieg and I have not tried out Caesar, I think was the sequel there, but thought that maybe made it a little too complicated for me. So I'm excited to see what twist. I still appreciate that he puts a twist on it. So I'm interested to see what the twist is with this one once we actually see a board and what's going on to see if maybe it is kind of perfecting an already great system and if it'll just be a little more to my liking. But I already have Blitzkrieg, so then it also is like maybe I don't really need to be excited about this one because I have that already. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I've played the three of them so far, which was uh, Caesar, Blitzkrieg, and Dogfight.
All right.
And I think I still prefer Blitzkrieg over the other two. So yeah, we will see. But I did not realize this was Mori. I think I might have went past this one and just thought this was a war game, so just
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
didn't even notice it. I just looked at the cover and I was like, oh, well, war game. So I'm not going to look into this. Uh, but yeah, now I am now interested in kind of what this one will be doing.
Okay. And then next up, one that another one. This one didn't have a picture, and yours barely had the picture. I had to blow up a big tall picture of a little bit of the game components.
I thought you
And
were going to say of Mike DeLisio.
yes, I should have. Do you consider him to be a
B.
dragon, Zach? Would
I
it be
thought you were
very
going to say
fitting?
be a game component.
But
Oh
yeah,
boy.
you got a nice long name, Dragonarium. Oh boy.
Yeah, I really liked the cover on this one, and I looking for a dragon game that I really love. This one looked like it could be a little simpler, but maybe one of those style of games like a King Domino or something where um, it ends up being one that I just love to play. I don't remember. I do not remember. I looked at these a little bit the other day, and now I am totally blanking what it was about this one that really pushed it over the edge for me. But yeah, I liked the look of the game, and yeah, I'm hoping this will be a good one. I can't remember. Was this the one that I had two from the same publisher, I believe, which was a publisher that I don't know that I have any games from. And I was like, I wish I was going to Gen Con and visit their booth.
It's not too
So
late.
if they want to send
Might
us
be.
these games, is this maybe it's I can't
Um,
remember if it was this.
I feel like it was a different one. I feel like it was
Okay.
a different one.
Okay.
I don't remember if I've seen that logo twice.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's a good pick. That is a cool cover, but I didn't look too closely at it because it didn't really have much to show of it at the time.
Yeah.
Next up is another one in a series. So I think this is the third one in this Point series. We had Point Salad, we got Point City, which I think maybe gets too far away from the simpleness of Point Salad, but Point Galaxy might be bringing it back, running it back to that original. As you can see, the setup, if you are familiar with Point Salad, the setup for the market is very similar to that, in that you are drafting from this two rows of three cards, which are usually ingredients to your salad, but here they are different planets that you can put into your system. But a little twist here, they do get replaced from the flipped over cards on the top, which are different types of cards. Usually in Point Salad, it's scoring cards. Here, it can be opening up a different galaxy for yourself or different bonus effects. But you can actually take from the I'm just going to call it the ingredient market, and the decks. You can take from both of those in the same turn, I believe, in this one.
Hmm.
And it is a little different because you can see you have numbers on these different planets, which the colors will count for what the galaxy wants and stuff like that. But you also have scoring for ascending or descending numbers. You have to place them in that way, one or the other, and you get points for how many unique types of numbers you have per system. So it kind of gives a universal type of scoring, no matter what your galaxy wants to score. If it wants to score green or orange, you also have that kind of set collection with it.
Hmm. Yeah, I did not look into this one too much, I guess. Yeah, it was one that I was like, yeah, this could be a solid game that ends up making our collection, but I think probably similar to maybe your thoughts, Point City, it's kind of like, I don't know that I need a different point salad.
Yeah.
So then that probably hurt it on this one a little bit. But yeah, if they're getting maybe back to their roots or their veggies, uh, maybe it'll be a little bit better. Maybe it'll be second place to point salad, which can't be beat.
Yes. And then your next one is a very classic looking game, a very puzzly looking game. And that is whatever that is.
I'm not even sure either. The Voynich Puzzle. Yeah, this one, I think this one was from Danny Garcia and Salt and Pepper Games. I think Salt and Pepper Games did Conservice, right? They did
Oh,
that one,
okay.
which is one that I really liked quite a bit. And I think this one's quite a bit different than that. That is a solo building game. And this looks like maybe more of a Euro game, which is what the games I've played from him, what he's done in the past. So I was like, it's kind of got this interesting look to it, sciencey look. I know there are other games that kind of have that sort of look to them, but I don't know. Something about this one was, I don't know, just reaching out to me. I like the idea of this puzzle. I think there was you're like solving pieces of it, and like when you score certain things, it like unlocks information for other players or something. It was saying. I don't remember exactly. I think you're actually building a puzzle out there. So, uh, yeah, I thought that was an interesting concept. That, yeah, we'll see how that ends up playing out. But interested in learning more about this one.
Yeah, I love that you have little puzzle pieces in there. Uh, that is all I need to see.
This is the one, isn't it, Pepper? This puzzle. You love this one.
This was not. I don't ever recognize even seeing this. Blocked it out of my brain. Just like people. Let's see. I might be wrong. Might block out high school out of their brain and those memories. I blocked that one out. But this one, haven't seen much about the components, which really sucks because I think it could be a great one for that. This is from Paverson Games, publishers of Distilled, correct?
Hmm.
Which I think has a great production from what I've seen. I've only played it online, but I've seen pictures of the production. So that gets me really excited for what you could do in this kind of yearbook creation game, which I think just is a great theme. I don't anything like that, making a yearbook, making mixtapes, or just pretty much creating something, crafting something. I don't know. It just really works. Scrapbooking for a board game, and it gets me excited about all the little things you can do. Try to set up this next to that, and get all the things from the year, all the events, put the right people in the right spots. It just has me excited about the potential. Once I see what the game's actually about, maybe it is, maybe it's way too heavy for me. Distilled is a pretty crunchy game. I don't know what this is going to be. I hope it's maybe a little lighter, because I think the theme definitely should be a lighter game, but only time will tell.
Yeah, that's fair. I was actually pretty shocked when this one popped up here because I was like, wow, I wouldn't have thought he would pick one that is, I'm thinking, going to be a heavier game, but like you
Yeah.
said, maybe the theme, maybe it will be a little bit lighter because they also are coming out with Luthier, which almost made my list. It did not. I'm assuming that did not make your list, which I think is also a heavier game. And yeah, I'm actually excited for both of them. They just didn't quite make my list. I think I just got a lot of unplayed heavy, medium
Yeah.
to heavyweight Euro games, and just like maybe once I clear that backlog, I'll be looking for some more new ones. And yeah, if they're anything like Distilled, they will pop right up on my list.
Okay, so your next one is a pretty cool theme to it, a theme of a game that we have already. And after you playing Bloons app, you're like you always wanted a board game with a tower defense, castle defense game, and it looks like you might be adding another one.
Yeah, so I think this is the same logo. So this is the
Oh, it
same ones that
is.
did
It
that
is.
Dragonarium.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I'm excited to see what both of these kind of are. 'Cause, yeah, this looked. I saw this picture as well. And I'm like, okay, this could be either really cool or a lighter game than I would be hoping for. But yeah, I
Mhm.
like these tokens. I believe are you playing the three pigs and the
I think
wolf
so.
is trying to knock your castle down now that you're raising it up, castle raising it up. Uh, I just thought this looked really cool. I don't know what the game will end up being like, if it's going to be a little bit on the lighter side, but kind of building up these different pieces and looks like there's different icons on there, assuming they do
Yeah.
different things and stuff. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know if it's more, it's a kind of a bag pull kind of thing system there.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't really tell. I guess I didn't look at it close enough, but yeah. So I'm excited about both of these games. I think they might have even had a third game, but I was like, okay, Zach, you can't just put all of them from the same publisher. But yeah, I hadn't heard of them before, so I was like, it's worth at least putting two on there because yeah,
Yeah.
making some interesting looking stuff. Like I said, they can send them our way if they'd like us to
Yeah.
play the games and review them.
Yeah, I would really like him to send it our way because this was the game that was going to be on my list.
Oh.
And I was like, ah, he's got it. I'll bump it off of there to include some others. And
I would have thought it would be a different one that was coming up, but
okay, okay. But
yeah, I can
it
see that.
looks cool.
I can see you saying this one. So
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. Stacking those things up, activating new actions as you do it. I like it. I like it. It's not gonna beat After the Empire, though. There's no way. No way. And then what do I have next? Another game, and I shouted this one out. I shouted the original version of this game out a little bit earlier when I was talking about the ice and idols, talking about those tiles. And this is railroad tiles. Oh man, we've talked about this one, I think when we covered it with it had its project, and I'm like, does this count? A few of these games, I'm like, does it count? We already know about it. It's gotta be delivering by now, but I'm really excited for this one. Just look at it. Look at the components. The original game's pretty good, a great roll and write. Um, and I'm like, you don't have to change it. It should be a roll and write. But when I see these beautiful tiles done way better than I could ever draw these rails or these roads, and you get those wooden pieces to put on there as well, with probably a little gameplay twist in there with how the tiles work. I think this is set up to be maybe the definitive version that I'm hoping to play. I'm hoping it becomes my favorite version of the game. Fingers crossed, because I love the look of this.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this version didn't come out first. Because
Yeah.
now I got like all the expansion stuff to Railroad Inc., which still fun, but yeah, these looked way better than I remember looking back when it was on Kickstarter, GameFound, or whatever it was. I just remember thinking, "Wow, these look way better." Because I think we knew it was coming. I think we'd probably seen some ads and stuff, but yeah, it was way better than I would have thought. And I think they also on Gen Con thing had listed like all the expansion ones, which all look
Yeah.
awesome too. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. I'm just like, oh gosh, that's gonna be hundreds of dollars. but, but yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Well, I am not excited for your next one because this is a
What?
very Euro-y looking game.
I doubt it.
And it is Suna Valo, or however you say it.
You might like this. I think it's a two-player game,
Ooh,
so I think it might be a little bit of a battle back and forth. It's kind of the feeling it
okay.
was giving me because yeah, you're building up your different areas with these cards. And yeah, I when I first saw that cover, I assumed it was like a four-player, 2 to 4 player heavy Euro game.
Oh, yeah.
And when it was two-player only, that had me a lot more interested because I was like, huh. It made me then think of I don't know why, but bread and what's the one
Uh,
called? Beer and bread.
Beer and bread. I was thinking heaven and ale. I was thinking
Heaven
the
and
same
ale.
game, but I had the wrong name.
Beer and bread. So I'm like, yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and yeah, I'm hoping this one will be a really solid game. I really like the artwork of this one. Looks like it should be interesting, but yeah, we'll see if it's really a pepper game or not. See if it's a little bit too
Yeah,
much, or if it's something that will be just right.
just right. And what's the publisher on that one?
I cannot tell.
Okay, it is the Game Builders. Speaking of the Game Builders, let's talk about the Game Makers. Oh boy.
Ooh,
Bezier
prototype.
Games. What is it? Ben Rossett, something designer. He's worked on, I think, Kingdom or Two Castles, Between Two Castles, and a bunch of other games. I think he did this.
Suburbia?
No. That's Bezier. That's
Okay.
Bezier. But he did a bunch of games. I think it's him.
Okay.
This one. I probably shouldn't talk too much about the games because it might not have been this game that he. But this one, you are trying to build the best board games and publish the best board games. And it's got market. It has as one of the mechanics, and as you can see, there's a ton going on here, a ton of tracks, and there's even a big Lazy Susan looking thing with a bunch of resources in there as well. And I'm like, that seems a bit overkill just to hold things, but it works really good in Planet Unknown, so we'll see
Yeah.
here. And I see these trees, and I'm like, wait, are you actually getting the wood to get the cardboard, to make the boxes, to make the components, the wooded pieces? I'm like, this. And you got cards with actual games that we may own that you can kind of have contracts for. I assume they'll continue to have actual games there. I'm like, oh, this is looking because it's Bezier, I'm like, this might be a big hit, big miss here. But since it's Bezier, I'm like, they've released some great games. I'm getting a lot more trust that this is going to be actually something really, really cool that fully capitalizes on the theme.
Yeah, I think I saw this cover, but I must have just passed by it. I didn't really know what it was. Probably didn't see Bezier on there. So yeah, this looks awesome. This looks like a Euro game though, with all those tracks and all the different tokens and stuff. But it looks really good. And if that's just prototype, my goodness, what
Yeah.
is this going to look like as a game. The box is going to be even bigger than the Suburbia like Ultimate Edition box. My goodness.
We can only hope. We need every single game that we own to be a card in this game. Oh boy. And next up, you have one with probably a designer is really bringing you into to picking this one. A YouTuber, designer, member
No.
of one of the biggest.
Is it Chris Yee?
It may be Chris Yee. Yes.
Yes.
That jerk, Chris Yee.
That's
Soda
him right
jerk.
there on the box. But I like soda, so that helped as well. I didn't. That was what got me into it first. I think it was also very close to the top of the Board Game Geek list, so I think a lot of people had
Yeah.
thumbed it up. But then I was like, oh, soda. What is this game? And then I'm like, wait a minute, Chris Yee, designer. Is that the Chris Yee? And it was. So yeah, this one looked like an interesting. You're trying to get the ingredients to build the certain sodas, or build them. You build them, you construct them with nails and grapes, as you one does. But and then yeah, I can't remember what the jerk part was, but I think you could set the cards up in ways to hurt your opponents or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting look. I like the artwork on this one. It's kind of a different style than any of the other games we have. So I was like, it's the soda theme along with the good artwork, along with Chris Yee. I'm like, it's got to be good. Got to be good. Right? Right?
It's gotta be. It was just a little too simple for me. I'm like, I don't know. It's either gonna be a hit or miss. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm
That
like,
is the tough part with some of the card games. Is sometimes they're just a little bit too light, but
yeah,
let's
if it
see.
gets into like, I don't know, just trick taking, there's a whole side of card games that I'm just like, I don't want to touch them. Yeah. But then his good friend, I believe they do a lot of videos for this company. I think they play their
Tom
game.
Bassel?
That's
Is he
right.
coming out with another
He's
one
got another one.
after his last hit?
More vicious fishes. No, this is Ivy Studios. Do they do videos with them? Or is that someone
I
else?
think they've done a couple. I don't know if
But
Chris has been on them.
they make a bunch of videos by themselves anyway. They don't need the Dice Tower. I had a couple IV studios here, but I went with Graft, and this is I think in the Tend universe. And that has not delivered yet.
That has not come yet.
Okay, but this one I really like the look of this when you are drafting these cards, sushi party style, just drafting cards. What are you talking about? What are you smiling
Well,
about?
you giving me the business about this Ivy studio.
I know, and I almost had two of them. I almost had Time
Wow,
Mechanic
Pepper.
on here too. I'm
Wow.
like, I can just shout it out. That one looked pretty cool too. Um, but this one, I'm like, this is simple. This is a nice, simple Ivy Studios game where you're drafting cards and you're creating a row of cards, line of cards, where kind of the order that you do them matters. As you can see, some of them kind of outlaw future colors to be played to the right of them, and each of them has a scoring condition based on what's in the row in the set. And I'm like, that just is simple and clean and feels familiar, like things I've seen, but I hope this can be kind of a really good version of it.
Yeah, this one was on my short list, but I think was this one 3 players minimum?
Oh,
Maybe that was a
Not
different
sure.
game I looked at, and I think that might have been why I took it off. And I think I might have just taken it off because I was hoping to play Tend, so I was like, we can come back to this one. We got to see if Tend is good first.
Yeah.
That's what I did for a couple of mine as well. I don't know if we'll see if they end up on your list or not, but I think some of them, if they were in certain universes or certain whatever, I might have cut them just because I was like, I've
Yeah.
already got kind of a game in that. So, but
Well, I
yeah,
was
this
hoping
one,
this would be
I was
more
interested in
approach
this one as well.
hoping it'd be more approachable player-wise because they have a lot of high player games, but they may have struck
That
out
is something
again.
they love to do.
They love it.
That's the one problem.
They love games as
Although they did
free.
just do some 2 player ones.
They did. They did.
Now that we complained enough.
They do games as high player counts as poker has. Poker version, something you want a poker game very much. You predicted that there'd be a renaissance of poker games, and you have chosen your next one to be one of those games.
And the reason why this one can be on here is it's a solo or two-player game, which
Ooh,
poker, I don't
yeah,
usually think of
weird.
solo or two-player.
Mm-mm.
But this made me think a little bit of Regicide, because I think you're using poker hands to defeat these different, the Ace of Spades, I think the bad guy, and I don't know if he sends different villains out or whatever, or how you have to beat him exactly, but that just made me think of Regicide,
Yeah.
but poker instead. And I was like, okay, I don't know if that's actually what it is exactly, but it made me think of that, and I was like, okay. And then solo, I love the sound of that because then even if no one wants to play poker with me, there we go. I can still play it against myself or against the game and probably lose.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool. I do like a good solo game, but I don't know if the theme and the art is really drawing me in too much.
The art is not my favorite, but
Hmm.
I like the idea of solo poker. So gonna give it a shot, even though the artwork is not my first choice.
Yeah. Oh boy. And next up with my number two, very importantly rated. I like to play it safe. I like to pick games that are in the franchises of games, and we're going with another one. But it's bringing it literally to another level. And that is Cascadia, Alpine Lakes. We have a picture of a very
Crap.
similar game. Acropolis is the picture here. I really wish they had pictures of the gameplay of this because they're saying that it's very similar with the kind of biomes you're creating and animals, I assume, similar to Cascadia, but you are bringing it into the third dimension. You are stacking tiles upon other tiles. And I'm like, ooh, I initially was going to maybe pop this off of the list just because I'm like, I don't know much about it. But once I read that, I'm like, I got to put this on the list. I love stacking tiles on top of other tiles. Maybe it just gives you a little more chance to change things if things aren't working out, possibly, or maybe it makes it more restricting. I don't know. And I think also the different land types, I think, might have different scoring for them in addition to kind of how the animals were originally. I believe they said that as well. So that's just a lot of cool things to step up an already pretty perfect game and maybe make it a little more complex if you're looking for that.
Yeah, this is one of those exactly what I was talking about. It's kind of in a world of the games that I've already
Yeah.
already have. I am definitely 100% excited about this, and this should have. I mean, it essentially made my list, but I was like, I can't put Cascadia Alpine Lakes on there when I already love Cascadia. But yeah, I'm hopeful that this will kind of give just another unique feel, but still feel like Cascadia and not feel like it's like, oh, now it's too much, it's grindy now kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they found that perfect balance.
Yes.
Okay, Pepper, I'm gonna take a spooky leap and hope I can guess what my next one is.
Oh boy. I think that might be the guess in and of itself. And I think he's right.
Oh, well, at least I'm right about that, because when you'd said that there was one that would have been on your list, I thought maybe it was this, just due to the theming. Thought maybe this would have been on your list, and you saw I had it, and then you're like, okay, I'll take it off. So, but I was obviously wrong about that.
It was
Uh,
close. I think I initially didn't have this because I saw this early on, and I was like, "Oh, that's out already." There's like a reviews and stuff, and I didn't know exactly what we were covering. And then once I went back and put it into the list, then it was too recent. It didn't make its way up to those top spots, and then it was on your list, and then I kind of bumped it off. So it's kind of you're kind of right that
kind of
it,
right.
it probably would have made my list if I had thought about it more. I just didn't.
Yeah, I really love the theme. There's actually, I think, another game coming called Popcorn, which is also all of a sudden we're getting these movie theater possible themes, and I love it. I'm all here for it. But yeah, I think the Dice Tower did have a review on this one, and I think they liked it quite a bit, so it's made me more excited about it. I believe there are different monsters going around the movie
Yeah.
theater trying to get you, trying to get the meeples, and or are you the monsters? Now I don't remember.
I think you're the monsters. I think you're the
Okay.
monsters,
You're
and
doing the spooking.
you each have a unique way about the game, and try to get those meats, eat them up.
Yeah. I'm excited about this one. I don't always love moving games where you're moving around the board necessarily, depending on
Well,
how that
yeah,
works out. But just with this theme and yeah, just a lot of meeples out there. I like those style of games, so I'm hoping this will be a solid game. And yeah, I'd definitely be running for this one at Gen Con, even though I guess maybe it's already very widely available and I don't have to run
very
even because
much.
you're not supposed to run. But I had shoved kids over. No, let me get spooktacular.
It is way above your age range, kid.
Way
Um,
too spooky for you.
yeah, I definitely want to play that one for sure. Being a big fan of movies, especially. Oh boy. So then my last one here. So you still have one that you think should be on my list.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be the one I think it is, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know what else. Let's see. Is there anything on my short list that I would think you would have done?
You can throw 'em out. We can all you can throw a bunch of names out there. People can go
Uh,
look up those games as well.
well, I already have Luthier, Cascadia, Llama Llama, Propolis, Pillars of Hercules, All Aboard, High Tide, uh, many other Paradox Island, Mystic, Curling Club, Nashi, Inkwell, Layers, Wondrous Museum. I got a lot of them on here, and I don't know. None of them are striking me as these are Pepper games. I did
It
not
is.
say the one though. It wasn't any of those, was it?
It was not any of
I did
those.
not say the one though that I think it could be. Let's see if it's on your list. Is
I
this a
don't think.
doctor game?
Is it a doctor game? It is not. Oh man.
Dang it!
This I thought this would be on your list. It seemed like a really cool name and a cool theme that you would like. With some woodland creatures and some awesome wooden pieces and gameplay that makes me think of a little bit of tiny towns as well as a little bit of Middle Ages. And that has a name very similar to tiny towns, and that is Timber Town.
Oh, yeah. This one. Okay. Yeah. This one, I I don't know for some reason in my head I've already purchased this one, but I haven't actually. So that is why it did not make my list. But yes, this is one I am excited for as well.
Is this out soon, or have you pre-ordered?
I have not. I think it is it already out. I think it is because I think a lot of people
Okay.
were. It was hot for a hot second there, and now I
Okay.
feel like I haven't heard as many people talk about it. But I guess I don't know if that was just other reviewers got review copies and it's not actually out yet.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I did
I've been
not.
excited about it since then, especially from Alley Cat Games.
Yeah. Yeah. I am not in the know, so I don't know which ones are out or not. So that makes sense that you did not consider it for that reason. I just went by the list, and this one looks
Hmm.
fantastic. Amazing artwork, amazing wooden pieces, building out a little board, scoring all these different buildings in unique ways, depending on the cards that you chose at the start of the game. And the drafting was very cool, kind of makes me think a little bit of Middle Ages, how you can reserve some of the tiles and they kind of float down the river. And then when you take them, shows when kind of how far down the river it is, what column in your city that it's going to go in. So you might want a tile. And that's where reserving, which I usually don't like to do in games, could work really well here, where you're reserving it so that you can get it later without someone sneaking it away from you. So I really love the look of this one. This one was a no-brainer, and I'm glad that you are very interested as well.
Yeah, this one I'm really excited about. It is very anticipated, and yeah, if I had not already previously looked at this one for the last couple of months, I I probably would have, when looking at the list, probably would have added it to my list. Um, yeah, we'll get to the one that I thought that could make your list possibly, but maybe you don't like this game as much as I thought you did.
So this one, this.
Well, not the one that I'm gonna do here,
Okay.
but the one that I'm going to eventually tell you that I thought
Okay,
and
you're gonna
should be on your
eventually tell you.
list.
But your last game.
My last game, Lightning Train. This one I'm mainly excited, mostly excited because it's from Direwolf Games, and they've put out some really, really great games. Some of my favorite games. You've got the whole kind of Clank series, Dune Imperium series. Uh, That's the one right over here. Wild Tiled West is really solid, and I'm like, oh, they're doing a train game now. I'm all in. I'm all in for this, and yeah, I've been playing a lot of Ticket to Ride recently, and so yeah, it's all coming together. And yeah, I think I watched the Dice Tower play this one, and it looked interesting. I maybe a little less excited. I was like, yeah, it's maybe not
Oh man.
quite what I don't know what I was actually hoping for, but I think it still looked good enough that it would end up being one I would be rushing to get. And you probably put this in a good spot. This was the one I've probably talked about the most out of these ones, just because it was the same thing with Wild Child West. I feel like they announced that that was coming, and then it took like 2 years to actually come out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been anticipating that one for years. But yeah, anything that they put out, I'm right there excited for it. And yeah, I'm
Yeah,
hoping
sure.
to eventually get a copy of this one. So
Yeah, good pick.
I guess, are you excited about that one at all? Not really.
It's Direwolf, but I mean anything with trains that's not Ticket to Ride gets me a little worried that it's gonna be a train game, it's gonna be super heavy. But I think it should be a pretty solid one. They haven't missed yet.
Were there any that just missed out on your list? See if you have it in kind of your just missed out.
Let's see. I was thinking of obviously a lot of the ones you mentioned, but I
Did
had
you have any with Reiner Knizia?
Reiner Knizia. I'm not. I feel like there was one, but now I'm looking at it. I'm like, which one would have been Reiner Knizia? I don't know.
He was
Maybe
a co-designer, and I don't believe he was in on this original design.
maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. I guess Furnace Duel. He's not. Is he a co-designer in that?
Well, I don't know if he is on Furnace Duel, but that is a good shout. But that is not the one I was thinking of. No, this is more of a classic feeling game, one that's probably sold a lot of copies because it's kind of a main, not mainstream, but more of a game you'd see in Target at Walmart even before they started
Okay.
having kind of modern board games. Um, it's one that's already got two versions of the game.
Two versions of the
One
game.
where you're doing the same kind of thing, but the one you're rolling, versus the other one you're just placing. You get what you get.
Placing and you're rolling. Maybe I
You're
skipped over this. Maybe I have it. I'm just blanking
It's
completely.
it's a game that fills in a letter if you're going through the alphabet trying to get a game with a name with each letter.
Oh yeah.
This one definitely helps.
X. Let's start with X.
No. No. I think that is one of the letters we do not have. But
Um,
this there's a couple other ones, but
Q.
huh?
Q.
Maybe.
Q. My gosh, Q. I have no. Do we
Why,
own?
so confused.
Oh,
Everyone in the
Corkle?
comments
A
is
Corkle
lighting you
game?
up.
A Corkle game?
It's a Quirkle game.
There's a Corkle game. There's a new
Quirkle
Corkle game.
Flex. Quirkle Flex. Reiner Knizia's in on it.
I
I
did
was like,
not
oh, this is
see.
a Pepper game. This has
I
got
did
to be
not see
Pepper.
this.
It's a third way to score.
Wow. Oh my
The
goodness.
backgrounds are black and white, apparently. I don't know exactly how it goes into play, but Reiner
Oh,
Knizia is apparently involved.
I
I'm
didn't
like, I
think.
don't think he was involved in any of the originals that I
I would not
remember.
think that those worlds would be colliding like that. I did
I
not.
didn't either. When I saw it, I was like, oh, there's a new Quirkle game, and then I'm looking at the designers, and it's got Reiner Knizia. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Wow. Yeah, that
Yeah, I thought that'd make your list, but it did not. You're not
it did not.
anticipating
It
it.
did not. I thought I looked through all the games. I must have just skipped it. It must have looked too mass markety, and I just like scrolled
No.
by it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if I
That's
saw
fair.
the name Corkle, I think I would have clicked on it. And I don't know if I would have seen his name. I think that might have made my list.
But I think just yeah, because he's on there, I'm interested to see what that changes about the
Yeah.
game, seeing how that actually plays out. If it adds too much,
Oh,
starts getting
yeah.
too wild and crazy. But yeah, those are the games we are anticipating. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate it. You can give us a like. You can subscribe for future videos like this. Let us know what you're looking forward to at Gen Con. If you're going to Gen Con, we are not this year. I was tempted for a couple days, and then I was like, bit too far of a drive. Maybe next year we'll get there. But yeah, I'm excited about these ones. I'm hoping. Uh, don't know which one's going to be the hot game. Do you think of
Yeah.
Gen Con, Pepper? Do you have one that you think will be the hottest?
Oh man, I
Yeah,
don't
the worst
even
part is
know.
whether or not some of these are actually coming out or they're just demos. Like
Yeah, I think
Cascadia
like
Alpine Lakes, I think is a demo. Otherwise, I think that one would be
yeah.
very, very hot. Uh,
Yeah, I think I mean, if they have Ivy Studio game, I don't know how far along they are. Have they kickstarted these at all or game founded them yet this batch?
I don't remember if they did that for Graft or not yet.
They'll probably be pretty hot. They're pretty popular. Game
Chris
maker.
Yee
Chris Yee,
will have his own booth,
Chris Yee,
leaving the dice
definitely.
tower. Everyone will be lined up to have thousands of copies of this game.
I think the game makers. The game maker's gonna make it. It's gonna make the game. I think that's gonna be the one. I am disappointed. I think the Hercules one, they said sadly with certain things that they're not gonna be able. They're out of stock. They aren't able to sell any there. So I mean, I guess that doesn't hurt me. I'm not going there. But for all the people that watch this and are like, "Oh, that looks amazing," and are going to
That's the
pick it
one I
up,
want. Now they're like, I'm
too
not
bad.
going anymore.
So now you can watch this whole way and just to be disappointed.
But yeah, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.